I was looking through some of my videos last night, and I realized that I never did a final flip through of my altered phone book after I got it finished. So I figured I ought to do that. This is my phone book. It's one of those small size phone books that I just altered, and the cover is a hardback book cover, you know, that I took the guts out of. And I made a little closure for it, just this little, I crocheted a thingy and stuck a button on it. So there's that. And here's the book. And this, it is removable. It can be taken out of the covers, and you know, if you want to. And it's, I call it kind of a journal of journals, because it's, you know, it's a big kind of junk journal thing, but it's got a few little journals in it too. And I tried to make every page have some kind of something of interest on it, whether it's a journal, you know, a place to journal, or a, you know, photo mat for pictures or something. I like those interactive things. Another one. And this little thing with the pockets and the little doodads. I think the last flip through I did of this book, I put the link for the video where I saw the tutorial for that, if you want to find it. And that was a collage that I did. Another little book. And one here. And these are all just very simple pamphlet stitch booklets. They don't take any time at all to make. Post-its. Gotta have post-its. And all these, whoops, I was afraid of that. Okay, be still. I'm on top of my bed in the art room, and you know, if I lean, my camera's going to fall over, so I'm going to try not to lean. And I should say that anytime you see this happening in any of my videos, please know that it's just because I'm wearing a ginormous t-shirt. It is not my belly lopping over my stuff, okay? Really, it's not. Although, not to say that that's never happened before. I used to work at a church, and I did the graphics and stuff. And one day I was in the auditorium, and I was loading the Sunday morning graphics onto the computer in there. And it was a nice, you know, one of those desktop Mac computers. And my cursor started going crazy on the screen. It was like all over the place. It was opening random stuff on the desktop, and I was freaking out because I thought, oh my gosh, what's happening? It's got a virus. How? This is not possible. It's a Mac. It's not supposed to get a virus, you know. And I was just way freaking out, having this panic attack, and I pushed back, leaned back in my chair in frustration, and realized that when I did that, the cursor stopped and everything was fine, because I had been leaning over the keyboard and like my belly was resting on top of the space bar, and that had kind of made the cursor go crazy. Yeah, not one of my finer moments, but just so you know, this is not my belly, but occasionally I guess it could be. Okay, these all have little tags in them. And I'm just kind of cruising through this fast because I've showed all this before. I think it's just the end of the book that I haven't shown. Random tags. I'm going to stick some more stuff in there. That was just pieces of stuff. Lots of space to write on. because it is a journal. It's another little book, and I put thick paper in here to draw on. And that I think is stuck down here. And here's a little, this is a toilet paper roll book. And here's this one. That was some scented shelf liner paper. And these pages at the end, I decided to use a heavy paper so that you could paint on them or draw or whatever. So I put a couple of those in there for that. And then the 1940s ledger sheet. And that's it. So that's the end of that one. I did finish it, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It might end up on Etsy. I've got a bunch of other stuff I'm going to put on there too, so I might add that to it. And, okay, so what else have I been doing? I've been making lots of books and stuff. I'm going to try to work up like a tutorial for this one, because it is pretty cool. This is a little folio that I made, and it's got all kinds of little pockets, and it's got 2 signatures full of, you know, smash book, day book pages, so you can do all kinds of stuff. And I'm just a real big proponent of, you know, if there's a pocket, there are to be something in it. You know? I don't really like empty pockets. I may have 1 or 2, but for the most part, anytime I make a pocket, I stick something in it. And this is the center section of the folio. And it has a pocket on this side, a pocket over here, and then this is the second signature of smash pages. Okay, that's just all kinds of fun. And then in the back, it's got a notepad, and it's got a little pocket for that, so it's removable. And this is made out of 2 full sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. And there is almost no waste. The only piece I throw away is a little rectangle about like that. That's it. And I use every last inch of those 2 pieces of cardstock. So, and this is not complicated, but it is kind of tedious because, you know, you have to measure. I hate measuring. So I'm going to continue to work on a little tutorial for that and see what happens. So anyway, these are what I've been making a lot of lately, these smashy daybook things. I've got these 2. I noticed that for some reason I keep getting subscribers. So yeah, whenever I get 200 subscribers, which shouldn't be too long at the rate it's going, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to give these away. And I'm going to give 2 of them away, and I really don't know how that works. I'm just going to have to kind of wing it, or, you know, y'all can tell me how I'm supposed to do it. I guess I'm supposed to do just a random drawing or something. So, yeah, I'll figure that out. But this is full, you know, it's got all kinds of post-it notes and little journal cards and stuff, and this one's very similar as well. So anyway, these ought to be fun, and when I get enough subscribers, I'll give those away. And I've been making these. Will end up, I have to do a cover for that one. These will end up on Etsy, and they're little daybook, smashy book things with the fabric cover. And I made them so that they're removable. I like removable covers because then these are washable. You can just, you know, if they get ooky, you can wash them. Or if you want to use this for something else, you can take your smash book out. And I left the outside covers plain so that if you wanted to decorate them, you could. Or you could just use the cover. But these, since I'm putting them on Etsy, they're full of all kinds of stuff. There's, I think, over 50 pieces of loose ephemera that you can use either in the book or in something else. And, you know, every pocket has a something in it. And I kind of continue to add to them as I see stuff. I'll think, ooh, that would go good in there. So they're getting kind of full, but still there's lots and lots of blank space. I like to leave lots of blank space so that whoever gets it will have plenty of room to actually use it and make it their own. That's got stuff in it. So whenever I get around to actually listing these, I will put a link or something for my Etsy site. Actually, it's under the same name as my YouTube site. It's by Shannon Green. There's nothing there right now, but there will be eventually. So that's what those are. And I'm also working on Halloween. And I'll try to remember to put the link down there for this. This is like the coolest little thing ever. It is a vampire journal. And you can download it for free from a website. I think it's called howtohauntyourhouse.com. I think that's it. If you go to their download section, you can just download this and print it out. And then I kind of, you know, roughed it up a little bit, and I'm going to add some things to it. But it's pretty cool. And it's kind of funny because someone spent a lot of time making this, and then, you know, to offer it for download for free, I think is just a very cool thing for them to do. But some of the images they use, I recognize from like the Graphics Fairy and different stock photo sites. So yeah, it's kind of a neat little thing. And I'm going to put a Coptic stitch binding on it. And then they also had some other things you can download. There's a couple of different maps. And then they have this vampire sketchbook, which I couldn't figure out how it was supposed to be bound. You know, it wasn't, this one was easier to figure out the way it was laid out. You know, I could kind of figure out how it went. This one I couldn't, so I'm just kind of winging it, and I still have to put that together. But that'll be part of my Halloween decorations, which I only decorate like this one little table in my foyer. I don't decorate my whole house. But anyway, I kind of like to make it cool, and I think this will be cool. So that's what I'm working on, and I'm also working on these. And these are also more smashy daybook things, but they're a large format, as you can see. They've got bigger pages, magazine pages mostly. Any magazine I could find that was staple bound, you know, where I could just pull the staples out and pull out the folded pages, I used. And this is from Restoration Hardware, which, you know, is just gorgeous. And then inside, I haven't finished putting inside, but that's from Tom's Shoes catalog and from American Science and Surplus, and I think that was that Lowe's catalog, and a perfume sample. And, you know, each signature has something a little different in it. There's some junk mail postcards, you know, and I'm still working on filling these up. And I'm not sure how there's two of them. I'm not sure how I'm going to cover them. You know, they're just about the right size for a cereal box, but that kind of ruins my whole, you know, look. So I don't know. I'll come up with something. Maybe another fabric thing. I like the floppiness of them. I like this feel and the way they sound and the floppiness. And I don't really want to lose that with a hard cover. So I'll figure something out. So anyway, that's all I have. Let's see. Yep, that's all I've been doing. So until I figure out something else to do that might be interesting, that's all I have for now. So Awkward ending. The end.